What's up guys, welcome to Whisky. My name's Jeff. Now this is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around to the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. If that sounds interesting, hit subscribe down below, and with that out of the way, why don't we jump into our review. Today we're looking at Johnnie Walker Double Black. Stick around. So we've got a Johnnie Walker with us today. Johnnie Walker doesn't have the greatest reputation, I think, among single malt drinkers. A lot of people like it, but oppositely, a lot of people kind of stick their nose up in the air at it just because, A, it's very commercial. It's a very commercial, widely available, widely distributed brand. And B, it is a blend, and single malt drinkers, myself included, kind of guilty of looking down on blends sometimes. But there are some Johnnie Walkers out there that I think even single malt snobs are generally pretty okay with. A good example of that might be the green 15-year-old. Now that one, couple reasons for that. That one comes in at 43%, whereas most Johnnie Walkers come in at 40%. But more importantly, that one is the only Johnnie Walker that is made entirely of blended malt, which means you don't have any grain whiskey in there. You also have the Walker Black 12-year-old, which I think is pretty well received as well, for no other reason than it's a very accessible, very approachable whiskey that's very widely available, good balance to it, and you also have a little touch of peat in that one. Now, peat, generally speaking, is a very sexy element in whiskey. It's a very sexy flavor, and a lot of people, even single malt snobs, really dive headfirst into anything with a bit of a peaty kick to it. And that brings us to our Double Black here. Apparently our formula in the Double Black is pretty similar to the formula you get in the regular Black 12-year-old, but of course they did change a few components around. Now the idea for this whiskey is that they wanted to take that black and sort of crank up the intensity of those smoky, peaty elements in it. And they did just that, but in order to do that, they actually ended up having to strip away that 12-year-old age statement. Now, a lot of people might complain, but I think in this instance, they actually get a pass. They do have a good reason. Generally speaking, smoky, peaty whiskeys are a lot more intense and a lot more flavorful at a younger age. Now, the Double Black expression got its start in the travel retail market, but I think it was generally pretty well received there, and eventually in 2011, it made the jump over to Johnnie Walker's core range. 2011 was around the time I was getting started in whiskeys. I was buying some single malts already, but I was also still playing around with blends quite a bit. I remember having a bottle or two of this and quite enjoying it at the time. Now, of course, 10 years later, I'm sure a lot has changed, and I haven't really come back to this whiskey since then, so I am kind of curious to see how I feel about it now. So with that said, why don't we jump into a review of this one, and in the meantime, if you can kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. I think it's important to remember here that this is an affordable blended whiskey, so we can't expect too much from it. Of course, it's going to get 3 X's on our little chart up here. Comes in at 40%, it is chill filtered, it is colored. Now, the last time I did a review of an affordable blend, kind of did away with our little chart up there, and I think it's fair that we kind of do that again today. Of course, if you're a single malt or if you're a premium blend, you're going to be subject to much more scrutiny, but if you're an affordable blend, I think we can let a lot of things slide. Now, despite the fact that this is probably or definitely the most widely available commercial whiskey brands in the world, I still gotta say that I do like the look of Johnnie Walker bottles. I like the square design, I like the diagonal label. They've been keeping this look for what, more than 100 years now. Obviously they've done a great job of modernizing it, but not a lot's changed. They've stayed pretty faithful to that original aesthetic. Now beyond that, like I said, it's a blend, so we're not gonna be looking for information like, is it chill filtered, is it colored? Of course it is. So we'll just be focusing on how the bottle looks. And yeah, presentation, I'll give it a decent score, maybe 3.5 out of 5. Of course, it's not unique. You see this design everywhere with every Johnnie Walker bottle. Slight variations. You have a darker tint to the bottle on this one, but you know, they don't change too much around. But yeah, generally speaking, I like it and it looks good on the shelf. All right, let's try our nose here. Okay. So yeah, a little bit smoky. Like, of course, nothing like an Islay single malt, but you do get a smoky element to this. There's some oak, there's some plum, like plum wine, touch of vanilla. So some heat, like white pepper heat, touch of cinnamon in here. There's eucalyptus, there's maybe some citrus, so like lemon zest, and you get some faint coastal notes. Now for the palate. Okay, comes on pretty soft, so gentle oak and smoke in here. There's like an artificial caramel sweetness in here. Some malt, some grain, sarsaparilla, leather. Now for our finish. Okay. So like a continuation of our palate, still on that smoke, that artificial caramel note. There's some grain, some milk chocolate in here, like a nuttiness. There's nuts in here. This is short. It's definitely thin, but smooth and effortless. So yeah, a little bit of nostalgia here with this one. Kind of takes me back to those early days, 10 years ago. I was just getting started with whiskey. I didn't have a lot of money. I was buying a lot of blends. I was buying a lot of budget single malts. And of course, yeah, I liked it more back then, which is to be expected. It's been 10 years, but I will say this is still very easy to sip. And of course, where my palate's at now, I find myself wishing this is 46%. I'm thinking, oh, this is too blended out. I want a whiskey with more personality, more character. And then I gotta stop and think, why? Why would I expect any of that from Johnnie Walker Double Black? The entire concept of blends like this is, make it universally approachable, make it round, make it soft, make it smooth, make it easy. Now this one does have a little bit of extra intensity, it does have a bit of a smoky kick to it, but I want that big intensity that you get from Islay. Of course you're not going to find that here, so a lot of that's on me. Now of course I don't love this whiskey, it's not a great whiskey, I'll give it a score of maybe 81. I will say that generally it's pretty rounded, it's pretty accessible, balanced, you do have that nice smoky touch in here, but at the end of the day it's a simple whiskey, it's too simple, and of course it comes out pretty thin at 40%. To be fair, budget blends, what do you expect? But yeah, I mean, as far as my enjoyment of it goes, those are limitations. As far as budget blends go, I do think there's some better options out there than this one, but it's far from the worst. Now, within the Walker family itself, this one's okay. I still would recommend stuff like the Green. I'm not sure if Johnnie Walker Swing is still available, but I remember enjoying that one ages ago. Even something like the 18, which is also a very thin whiskey, it does offer some more sophisticated flavors than what you're getting here. Now, if you want that extra smoky intensity, this will be your best bet. I'll be honest, the reason I picked this one up is because I have an outing tomorrow night, I have a dinner tomorrow night, we're going to be a bunch of people, not all of them are whiskey aficionados, and a lot of them will just be kind of sipping on their whiskey while they scarf down on their food. In a situation like that, something like this is perfect. It's affordable, you have a nice big 1 liter bottle, and the flavors in here are very accessible. And I figured, what the hell, while I've got this bottle on me, I might as well pop out a review for you guys, let you know my thoughts on it. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there probably like this whiskey a little bit more than I do, and I'm also sure that I came off pretty snobby in this review, so I apologize for that, but I'm just not a blend guy, I haven't been for a long time. But if you are a fan of blends or a fan of Johnnie Walker, I'm sure you'll find plenty to enjoy with this one. Or maybe you're a bartender, or you have, a home bar and you want to do cocktails with a bit of a peaty kick, this will work too. Or finally, if you're just someone like me who wants something casual, going out for a dinner with friends, you want sort of a mindless, honestly expendable whiskey that everyone can enjoy and not think too much about, this one works for that kind of scenario too. Speaking in terms of value, I do think this one's okay. Of course, it is going to be an affordable whiskey, and I do like that it comes in that nice big 1 liter bottle size. Now, I do think that there are some better budget blends out there, but if you're looking for a Walker specifically, or if you want that peaty, smoky profile, I do think this one's going to be a good option. Alright, that'll be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, hit subscribe down below, click that little bell icon, and of course, smash the like. Now, I do want to hear from you. Have you tried Johnnie Walker Double Black? How would you compare it to the other Walkers? What Walker is your favorite? Maybe you could tell me why. And finally, down in the comments, let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.